Hi there. So I just wanted to do a quick demonstration of how you can go and look at error messages when somebody on your team has had a problem using Primero. Maybe they clicked on something and they got a big error message, or they got a little pop-up down here with an error message, but you didn't get a lot of information for it. Um, so basically, what Primero does is it keeps track of any errors in a little database inside your browser. I'm going to show you how to look at that database and show you how to get information that would be helpful to one of the development teams in getting enough information to be able to fix the error your user encountered. So the first thing we're going to do is I can be anywhere on the page. Just right click and click this inspect button. It's going to open up the developer tools, um, which if you haven't used them before, this top bar here allows you to navigate to different parts of the developer tools. What I want you to do is I want you to go over to the one that says application and click on it. Um, so by default, it's going to open up this manifest section. What I want you to do is I want you to go down over here, and in this section that says storage, uh, click the little triangle next to IndexedDB. So when you do that, it should expand like this. There's going to be a database in here called Error Logger. There's one called Primero, one called Workbox Expiration. I want you to click on the little triangle next to Error Logger, and you're going to see there's this thing. It looks like a little table that says errors. I want you to click on this, and here you're going to see this is just a list of all of the errors that my user has encountered in the system. So just a quick note on this. If you need to do this on the computer, uh, or just on the computer where the user experienced the error. If the user was logged out of the system since the last time they experienced the error, that's okay. What's most important is that they are they're always logged in as the same user on this computer. So, for instance, if I was logged in as caseworker 1 yesterday on this computer and I saw an error, and then I logged out and somebody logged in as caseworker 2 and then logged out. If I log in as caseworker 1 now, the error message won't be stored here, basically because every time a new user logs into the system, Primero clears out any information that we're storing in the browser. Um, so just a heads up on that and how to, what to know when you start looking for this error information. Okay, so anyway, I'm looking at this database of errors. I'm going to expand this little column here for value so I can see it a little more easily. You can see these errors all happen on different dates. So the one at the top occurred on August 1st. And then as you scroll down, you're going to see that the newest errors are at the bottom of the list. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure out which of these errors is the one that your user experienced and that you want us to investigate. Let's say yesterday I logged in around 2 o'clock, and sometime after that, or let's say on Friday, at around 2 o'clock, I logged in and I was editing cases, and sometime around then I experienced an error. You will see that right here there are two different errors that are around that time. This is Friday at 2:25 p.m. This is Friday at 2:28 p.m. So we would probably want information about both of these errors then. So to look at the information in more detail, you're going to click this little triangle next to where it says reason. Um, and you're going to see that there's a lot of information in here. So you're going to need to open these up a few times. So click this little triangle and expand it. Um, Same thing here. There's a whole list of reasons. So you'll want to open up everything you see. The important information here is usually either under JSON. This is going to be something that came back from the server. So you can see here under JSON, there's an error message and it says signature has expired. So that would be helpful information to us. Similarly, if you go up where it says error, This actually usually has a lot of information in it, especially if it's an error that happened inside your browser. So click on this little triangle here, and you'll see that there's, at least for this error, there's this attribute called stack, which tells us where in the application it happened. But there also might be an attribute in here called message, which is also really important. Because there's a lot of information in here that could be helpful to us, it's actually probably best if you just copy and paste the whole thing. So what I would say is you can just sort of drag your mouse across this once you've expanded everything, right click, click copy, and then you can just send us that information. And then, like I said, you would probably want to do that for both of these two errors. So this one that I have highlighted, as well as this one down here, because they both happened around the same time. So then I would just do the same thing. I would open this up. If you want to do this a little bit easier, you can right click on this and click expand recursively, and then it saves you from having to click on a bunch of different triangles. So once again, I would just highlight all of this, copy paste, and send us all this information. I hope this is helpful, and please reach out with any other questions you might have about how to look through the error logs when you're trying to get us to help you diagnose and fix a bug. Thanks.